Well, boys, look what we got ourselves here. We got our Ford up and running. Got a little issue. I guess I could talk about it now. This thing is an early '99, so when I put in a 2000 engine in here, guess what? The AC didn't like it. Truck runs very smooth. It's just slower than a turtle because the injection system is a bit different. The injectors. And yeah, other than that, that's about it, you know. Someone decided to stick a sticker wherever they felt like sticking a sticker. Anyway, so I'm very happy the way this thing turned out. Turned out pretty good. The guy that worked on it did a pretty good job. Only thing I found after he was done was a wire unhooked. But that was it, just one wire. It wasn't bad. Right now what we're working on, got a big old hole. The DP tuner thing sat right here, so I covered it. It looked all right. What I had to do, couldn't find a computer locally, so what I ended up doing is going out and sending out my computer to DP Tuner, and he's gonna reflash it because the donor truck that I have, once I hook up that computer, the neutral switch isn't present, so it won't even fire the truck up. So, you know, I had two computers that weren't doing me any good, so now, matter of fact, I'm sending it out today. I'm gonna send out the computer, and he's gonna reflash it and do everything for the right injectors and turbo and whatnot. So anyways, got that figured out. That's the downside. Shoot, man, this really sucks. There's not enough lighting in here. Well, no, you can see in the video. You know, truck's very clean. Well, more or less, it's very clean. The engine runs very clean. You know how you check blow by? I mean, that thing puffs, but nothing. Well, how to present this or explain myself properly? The air isn't pressurized extremely to like leave the chamber in a hurry. It just puffs slowly. So in short, you know, when you pull this thing off and it's a hot running engine, the smoke just sort of floats off to the side. But with the old engine, you know, you got a compression. It went about this high and then it went off to the side, if you know what I'm saying. A lot less pressurized exhaust gases there. It means less wear on the piston rings. Anyways, and I don't know if I've said in my other videos, to confirm the reason for the engine was not the fact that the engine was too tired. I mean, it was getting worn out and all, but I wanted to underline it. Put a filtration system. Just wanted to say the fact that it was heated. It was over the piss heated. I ordered a pillar. I always had the gauges, but never got around to them. Had the right guy behind the wheel, and he took it easy, but finally got the pillar, so we're gonna install them gauges. Once again, that's the piston. So whatever. I've showed you. Now that I think about it, I've showed you that engine before. Anyway, so that's pretty much the finished product. I'll do a ride along one day. I've had this truck for 5 days. It's gonna get parked here for a bit because when you start it on a stock ECM, it runs smoothly, you know, takes off smoothly, but it's slower than a turtle. So I went out and hooked up my chip, and once I turned it to the 80 horse, it moved along, but I don't like the way the engine runs. It runs pretty hard, and yeah. So anyways, I'm fine-tuning everything and finishing her up, you know, getting her done right. For some reason, all my doors are missing the trim pieces. I'm pointing the camera. You got little pieces that, you know, fit right in there and seals the bottom of the door, and you get a lot less noise and crap in here. You can see how it's all dirty. So that's what's left. I'm gonna go out to the dealer and pick them all up. For some reason, they're all missing on every single door. And what else? Oh, I was gonna do the liner in here on the back side of the hood. That's about it, you know. That's all that's left of it. We'll obviously get the tuned computer back and install and let it run good. Changed out the seats from that other truck. Love this armrest. Put a new clutch in here. You know, I've done what, 270 miles. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I've worn in the clutch more or less. I mean, not fully, but did my thing. So now it's gonna be parked for a while. well, I wouldn't say a while. I'm guessing about 4 or 5 business days, so give it a week. I should have the ECU back to me and this thing back up and running. Sad story, guys. Both of these overhead doors, both these overhead lights didn't work. So anytime I'd open the door, this sucker would light up. But this one, you know, I just didn't think much of it. What I would do is I'd come in here and make sure that the bulbs work, you know. I'd flip them on and off, and voila, I'm done. So I'm like, man, the problem lies somewhere in the Ford, like I like to say, the Ford. And Lord behold, when you pull off these caps, there's there's another light there. I don't know if you can see. See, that's what I was doing. I was testing these lights. But it turned out that both of the interior lights burnt out on this pilot. Enjoy. There you go. So did that one. So pop these off, put new lights in there, and voila. Guys, and little things. Hey, look at that. We got Dave joining us today. Little things like these cup holders, you know. I put in a fresh cup holder, you know. I put in the fresh, well, it's fresh because well taken care of, you know. I put in a fresh armrest. It's nice, guys. It really feels good to have all this, and this truck finally where I wanted it. So I'll admit, you know, I'm not a Ford guy. I'm definitely a Dodge Cummins guy. It's not so much Ford or Dodge, it's the engines. I'm getting this truck to where I'm starting to like it. And I know, guys, you heard that right. I'm starting to like a Ford. But for what it is and how it is, I'm pretty satisfied with it. You know, the only thing that I'm not going to address, and the only thing I'm just going to leave the heck alone, are the door locks. They don't work properly. So the back doors, they don't work. But if you try hard enough, here, I'm going to try to lock it. You know, you give a few attempts, you'll lock in, and same thing for the unlock. Yeah, I guess I got tired. It won't unlock. So, I mean, for a work truck, that doesn't bother me at all, you know. Typically, I have 2 keys on me. Once I start this old diesel, I keep it running and just lock and lock the door. So when I come up to the door, unlock it, this door stays unlocked. Or this door gets unlocked, the rest of them stay locked. So that doesn't bother me. If I go out to change out all the speakers because it's so original, and they do okay on lower volume levels, but when you get them higher, they start doing their thing. You know, old speakers, I don't know what's the right term for them, but they start crippling and cracking and whatnot. So yeah, guys, that's about it. You know, I'm very happy the way this thing turned out. I expected less out of a Ford, but I've gotten used to it. Didn't magically gain any torque, let me tell you that. But with the better tuning, I think we'll be better off, and we'll all be happier. We'll see where this Ford goes. I'm planning on keeping it as my local truck for a guy that I know how he drives. He takes it pretty easy on equipment. He respects it. He hates Ford, so we'll have to convince him of keeping this thing busy. Once this thing, I've said 500,000 on original engine. Now I'm saying once this hits 600,000 on this engine, I'm going to repaint this whole thing and make it look spiffy. But we'll see. It turned into this little project car. It was a shop truck. Now it's becoming a little project truck. So I like things done once, and I like to have them done right. And this was the only truck in my fleet that was neglected. As I said previously in my videos, I tried to do a little experiment and came across this Ford and try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, have an experiment truck, experimenting with some stuff, and try to keep it as a local truck. And then this truck got used for a regional, and it was all wonderful. And then I got in the hands of a guy that doesn't understand mechanics, and that was the end of that. Fried granny of the engine. So I was getting my pillar in shortly. Now, what's going to happen to this truck? I'm repeating myself, but I didn't finish saying what I wanted to say. It's going to be handed down to only trusted people. I've put so much money into it, so it's really no point in selling it. I've been offered 10 grand for it, but I'm more than double into it. So in my business, I could use it. I could use it a lot more. So what I'm going to do is just, I know this is stupid, but, well, I think this might be stupid, but keeping it for a Plan B truck and moving my Limited to Plan C truck, if that makes sense. As I said, give it to a guy to run it local. You know, pull a load here or there. And need be, you know, go out to Seattle, come back. Need be. But, yeah. More or less, not anyone's going to be able to drive it, you know, like my automatics. Anyways, so that's the story of it. One last video, update video coming. Once I get the computer in here, and I'll take y'all for a test drive, show you how it drives and whatnot, and review that, and that's it. That should be it for this Ford. Alright, ask away. Ask all the questions you have, but that's it, guys. Y'all behave. Have a mighty fine day. Ciao. Bye.